I think it's the path of least resistance to just to say, well, you know, we don't have enough money, or we're never going to get the money to get it all done, or we can't keep up with photosynthesis. I think we're better than that, and I think I think you're seeing a lot of at every level, people coming together and recognize what this fire adaptive ecosystem looks like, and living with fire, and understand what that's going to be. But it's not a toggle switch thing, and that's the thing that we've always, you know, we being back at the district level. You know, it's interesting, and I go back and look at some of the units and ground we did work on 20 years ago, and how those are needing us to be back in if we're not too late to take care of those stands. Fire can. You know, I think we've yet to replicate all the benefits from an ecological perspective, what fire does to the landscape. I mean, we just can't replace that. You know, we don't have that tool of all the good things that fire can do to the landscape. The challenge is, how do we manage the severity, the effects, things like that? And I go back to my you know, trying to catch up with photosynthesis, and it's a biomass producing machine out there, you know, and it's just not gonna be any forgiving to wait around for any more analysis. It needs we need to get on it. We need to start being good stewards of this great landscape we have in this country. So I believe we're going to get there. I think I just don't want to get there in a random event, you know, in a drive-by shooting thing. I think it needs to be prescriptive. I think it needs to be integrated. I think it needs to be at all levels. I think we're going to have to be willing to live with some risk. But I've seen when without doing anything, we're at most risk. And I think others are seeing that too. And the neat thing is, people outside of fire are seeing that things aren't static. We got to do some things to protect our environment. And there's so many other things, you know, and it's stuff we learned in grade school, just from watershed, you know, the riparian, all the way up to the uplands, to, you know, it's the whole combo plate.